Yes, guys, how are we? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be taking you through a 750 gram carb high day, 5 weeks out from a show, which I definitely wasn't expecting. So I've taken you through high days before. They were like 550, and we've actually been running them more frequently than I thought as well. But it's going to be good today to show you how I will run a 750 gram carb high day, because obviously it's quite a lot of food to go in. Now, in terms of why we're doing the high days, so as I said, we have actually been running the last 2 weeks, 3 days back to back of 550, and actually continually seeing my weight go down. And what we were noticing that is I go flat pretty damn quickly. And actually last week, even with those 3 high days in, I lost 5 pounds across the week, which at this point is pretty quick. We've had to push a quick rate of loss because of that shorter time frame of prep. But we're getting to the point now where we're getting closer in terms of condition, and we can really start to afford to slow things down to make sure that we're holding a decent level of fullness while still bringing in condition, and also as well, of course, retaining tissue, because when you are starting to get leaner and you are pushing for a quicker rate of loss, you can run the risk of potentially losing muscle, and that's of course something we want to avoid. So the whole reason behind why we're doing this is to restore or replenish some glycogen, because you are going to be glycogen depleted when you're losing that amount of weight and getting leaner. Improve training performance, wash off fatigue, because there's definitely going to be quite a lot of fatigue present, and I am, in all honesty, energy is in the absolute bin today, so this is going to be welcome in terms of picking energy levels up, and then regaining some fullness as well to actually see where we're looking in terms of like how what we're actually going to do with it, and what it gives you is it gives you feedback, gives you data, and this is exactly the same as I'll do with clients running into photo shoots or shows. Is we need that data to know how your body responds and reacts well. So we're going to use foods that we know digest well, and that will vary from person to person, but it really gives us good data leading into peak week, which is a vital tool to use. So it is now 5 to 10, and I'm absolutely starving, I'm going to be honest with you. I have done 6,000 steps today, already done my 30 minutes of cardio, and I've been out of the house, done all check-ins, waiting for the shop to open so I can get the food I need and get cracking on this high day. So the mushrooms are already cooking. The setup for today is 240 protein, 750 carb, 30 grams of fat. Now that is from purely direct sources. There is naturally going to be an increase in trace proteins and trace fats from increasing the carbs and fats. But in terms of the direct setup, 240 protein, 750 carb, and 30 grams of fat. Now the first meal is a good one. So 2 whole eggs, 330 grams of egg whites. So pretty much all what I've been having all the way through is this meal is just more. But I'm actually going to change some of the egg whites to turkey breast slices. What an exciting life I have. And 325 grams of sourdough. So I'm going to use some of the turkey to fill up that sourdough. Give a little bit of variance. Go wild with some turkey breast. 150 grams of raspberries, and then the usual veg. It sounds like it's a meal that's going to make me sleep. So we'll see how it goes with it. But I know that for me, bread digests well. Like in my last peak, I actually ran out of food options when I was out in Portugal, and the shops were shut on like a Saturday. And I was eating baguettes for my peak, and the visuals were improving. So I know I digest bread well. So I'm going to get this made now. And what I'll do today is essentially just run you through how a high day looks on 750 carb, and show you what it does to the physique as well. So let's get stuck into it. 750 carb, man, it's going to be good. Look at that. It does not look like I'm under 5 weeks out, does it? It looks like I'm doing a food challenge. Obscene. Six slices of sourdough. And if you want an absolutely elite sourdough, Jason's ciabatta. It's like a combination between sourdough and ciabatta. Unreal. Eggs, egg whites, little bit of a reduction in the egg whites to get in that turkey. Little bit of pickle and mustard on there. Deli sandwich. I'm not going to put it together. I'm 5 weeks out. So I want to eat for as long as possible. So I'm going to have an open top sandwich. So I'm going to get this down me now because it looks unreal. I love bread. Love bread. Yes. I need a bigger plate, bruv. 325 grams of sourdough was not a problem. Nah, fill the spot that was nice. The most important part was it took time to eat because on prep it feels like food just goes like that. I'm going to try and really savor my meals today because the challenge of a high day is that you know you're going to be going back to a normal diet. And once you've had a taste of the good life, it makes it more difficult. High days actually, they can be a little bit weird on the old head, especially if you haven't done one before, because it will send your hunger sky high and potentially your cravings. Now I don't find cravings too bad on a high day because I'm actually just using more of what I'm already having, but it can for sure send your hunger and your cravings high. And I've had clients, like especially new to a prep scenario in the past, and they're like, I'm eating all this food and I'm just getting hungrier and hungrier, and that can happen. It's going to be shooting your insulin high, eating more carbs. You're going to be sending your hunger signaling a little bit wild. So it can be tough, eating more food, getting hungrier, and then knowing that you are going back to, your regular diet. But I think I've got 2 days of this, so it's definitely going to be nice. So just, I thought I'd kind of give you a little bit of openness and honesty about kind of my journey, where I've come from and kind of where I'm at mindset wise currently with where I'm shooting towards. So there it is no secret that I want to turn pro. I said that in the first ever video that I did, and to even say that for me, it does make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. Especially like when people say it, like, like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to go pro. Like there is no definite about it. But the reason it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable is because I've always been a huge self-doubter. I think I said that in the first video. And that self-doubt, I don't think it ever really goes away. And if I think back to like when I first started at bodybuilding ever, comparison was bad for me. And, I was in my first prep and I was like looking at people like 5 years ahead of me thinking like, why am I even bothering doing this? I'm like miles and miles away. But I don't think self-doubt is a bad thing. I think self-doubt for me is a good thing. And like, unless I let it cripple me. And sometimes I have let it cripple me, but I think self-doubt's been good for me. And I actually always want a little bit of it there because I think it keeps me grounded and it keeps me like trying to outwork that self-doubt. I never want to get to the place where I'm like, yeah, I'm there, I'm it. I'll never be in that mindset anyway. But I think like the self-doubt is a good thing because it keeps pushing you to be better. Now, like kind of working towards like last year's prep, and then actually like when I signed up to go for the Amateur Olympia, which is a huge show, and I actually remember like this feeling of like absolute fear when I was in the airport flying out to Portugal. Like, I do not want to go. Like, what is the point in me going? Because I'm nowhere near where I need to be. And that was a really tough feeling. And then actually to go out there and, get third was overwhelming. I was an emotional mess. I am an emotional guy, but coming off that stage, I was an emotional mess because, like, all right, yes, I didn't like get first or anything like that, but for me to be in the airport, like, thinking that I don't even want to go, like, being scared to go, and then actually coming third was absolutely wild, and it kind of just like showed me that the self-doubt thing is almost good, but I actually doubt myself too much. but it's a good thing that it's there because it keeps pushing me to outwork that self-doubt. And that's very much something that like I've carried through, I carried through throughout my off season, was just keeping on doing the work. Like, I wouldn't say I'm genetically gifted in the sense that, I pack on tissue easily. I've had to work for it. Like, I've had to really hone in on being perfect with training execution, intensity, like really like educating myself around it and improving my food and everything I do. And I think that's kept pushing me forward. Now, is the self-doubt still there? Yeah, absolutely. Um, I don't, I get advice of people that don't blow smoke, and they're telling me that I'm where I need to be, but I still don't see it myself. Still don't see myself at that standard of, fighting for a pro card. But the only thing you can do is like fuck around and find out, right? That is all you can do is do absolutely everything in your control to act like the person you want to become, and then find out what happens. And this is a conversation I've had with like quite a lot of the boys I coach that want to go into doing bodybuilding, and they're like, I don't think I have enough muscle. Like, I don't think I'll be able to kind of go through that prep. And it's like, well, you don't know until you find out. The only way you can do it is to try. So I don't think that self-doubt is a bad thing. Like, if you're wanting to start out on something, you are still doubting yourself, I think that's good. That tells you that you're pushing yourself to a place where you need to be. You're pushing yourself to go further. So use that self-doubt, but don't let it cripple you. And don't, like, as I've done in the past, self-doubt and compare. Use self-doubt to keep pushing you forward, I think is a good thing. So anyway, I thought I'd just give you an insight into kind of where my mindset is right now. So now I'm going to go out for a little bit of a digestion walk because it is super important to keep this food moving around when there is a lot of food going in. That was like 150 gram of carb. So I need to make sure that's digesting properly because it is soon going to be time to eat my pre-workout meal. In my pre-workout meal, I'm going to show you a foolproof way to make good cream of rice every single time. People may not agree with my method, but it works. It definitely works. And I'm also going to show you a cookie dough hack, which on prep, honestly, is probably one of the best things I've ever had. But that may just be because I'm 5 weeks out, so who knows. Just gone 12 o'clock, and that is pretty much all morning work done. So half my steps done, cardio, check-ins, program updates, and client form feedback. So pretty much on top of everything, which is a good feel. And it sounds nice getting everything done by 12. Must be nice. But I'm on it like pretty much as soon as I wake up. I'm not saying you have to be part of the hustle culture club, but it just allows me, being that disciplined with my time, to be a better coach, provide an unbelievable service, and be a good bodybuilder. So I changed my routine a little bit from when I started prep. So I was like getting up, waiting around, having a coffee, going to do cardio, getting back and doing check-ins. And I found that it was just like, it was really running into my evening. Whereas now, what I'll do is I'll get up, I'll take my check-in, and then, pretty much 4:30, I'll get straight into my client check-ins before I start or go and do cardio. Because that allows essentially, as I said, me to provide a really good service. I believe that if you're an online coach, you should get all your client check-ins done before you do anything else. So, or at least get them done by 12 o'clock midday, so they know what they're doing for the day and they know what they're doing for the week. They've got the plan set. I think that's very, very important. But it also, as I said, allows me to be a better bodybuilder. So I'm not going into my session worrying because I haven't done someone's program update, or I'm not thinking about check-ins. Like, everything is done. Everyone knows what they're doing. So I can go into my session and, fully get locked in. Of course, when I come home, I've got, client touch points to do and I've got a few calls. But I think a big part of why my sleep's been better this prep is because I've been on it and I've been disciplined with my time. So rather than like my work running on to like 6, 7, 8 o'clock, I actually have time to wind down. Like, I get back from training, do my calls, do my touch points, and I actually get time to like chill out with Cleo, watch some TV, eat some food together, and actually shut off before bed, which allows me to be a better bodybuilder. So not only am I providing a really good service, I'm getting out of my life what I want with my goals too. So I think it's super important. So it is pre-workout time. I'm very excited about this. So what we've got is how to make a foolproof cream of rice without taking ages to do it. So a lot of people will say you have to use cold water. And the problem with that is it takes ages to do, and I can't be asked to wait around. So what you need to do is use boiling water. I've already made mine up. But use boiling water, pour the boiling water in first, and then sprinkle the cream of rice on top, and it will not go clumpy. And you can see that there is no lumps in that at all. That's absolutely perfect. Now, the ratio for the water, people will say 5-1, which works. I personally like my cream of rice thicker because I don't want to feel like I'm eating soup in a dieting phase. So I like mine a little bit less. So I got 135 grams of cream of rice, which is a nice increase from 75 grams of my usual. And I've got about 550 water in. So nice thickness. Basically, water in, stir, and I bang it in the microwave for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and it comes out the thickness I want it to come out as, rather than having to stir, cook it for a minute, stir, cook it for a minute, stir, and it taking about 10 minutes. I simply can't be asked for that. So that's going to go in the microwave, 135 grams cream rice, 100 grams of blueberries. I've actually got a squares bar, which I haven't had all prep, haven't had for 7 weeks. So that is going to taste insane. And I'm under the understanding or the impression that it tastes good 15 seconds in the microwave. So I'm going to try that and we're going to review it. And if it's rubbish, I'll be fuming, because when you try something on prep and it's not what you expect, it ruins your day. So I'm going to give that a go. And then what I've also got, and this is the one, is we have got the cookie dough concoction, which is essentially cookies and cream, naughty boy way, made into a paste, and then you break 20 grams of dark chocolate up as small as you can, mix it in, and then bang it in the fridge for about an hour. And honestly, it's like cookie dough. It's absolutely unreal. So if you're on a diet, trust me, that is good. So I'm going to get this in the microwave. I'm going to eat it, I'm going to enjoy it, and then we'll review the squares bar when we're done. That is nice. I'm feeling pretty full after that meal. These meals are big. I've just eaten what I usually eat on a full training day in 2 meals. So I'm feeling pretty full, which I didn't think I'd be saying today. I said I was going to get hungrier, but those meals are big, bruv. So I think I'm going to have to go for another digestion walk. Otherwise, I'm going to be feeling lethargic in training, that's for sure. Sticky. Very, very good. Squares bar, why are we putting it in? Density of calories, like 135 gram cream rice bowl is pretty damn big. So you want something you digest well before training. I think it's got like 27 grams of carbs in it. It's rice based, so it's going to digest well. So that is pre-workout. That was 45 grams of protein, 150 carb, 10 grams of fat. A little bit more fat would have been in that from that squares bar. And I've had so far today 300 grams of carbs. So should be getting a pump on during the session. So we'll go train now. I'll show you some little snippets, but what I'll mostly show you today is the food side of things. Post-workout, 45 grams of protein, 200 gram of carb, which is 45 gram of protein from whey, 190 grams of cereal, 100 grams of banana, and then one squares bar. Now, I have very much got an obsession with cream of rice at the moment. It's probably the highlight of my day. And I've had the go ahead to have a combo of cream of rice and cereal, because we know it digests well. So cream of rice is incredible, but what's better than cream of rice is cream of rice with texture. So a bit of cereal on top for some crunch is absolutely outstanding. So 120 grams of cream of rice, and then 70 grams of cereal. And I'm going to go for Cookie Crisp. I'm very much on a cookie hype at the moment. Cream of rice, supplement means cookie dough. Cookies and cream, naughty boy way. And then Cookie Crisp, which is going to absolutely bang. And I've got another squares bar. I think I may heat it up again. I think I might go for chocolate caramel this time. I think. So game plan now is to have this, and then what I usually do is a little bit of a kind of more chilled afternoon after a kind of like all go morning. So I'll have the post-workout, then I'll chill out with a Coke Zero, and Cleo's home for post-workout as well, so it's nice to be able to get a meal in together. And then I'll have the midweek touch points with clients. When I say midweek, their check-ins are on different days, so it'll be midweek in terms of their check-in. Put together an Instagram reel, and I've got a call this evening. I've got 2 more meals left, which is nice. They're actually, in all honesty, a little bit later than I'd usually have them, simply because these meals are big and they've taken me a little bit longer to eat than usual. Didn't realise how big they were. So going to be eating a little bit later than usual tonight, but it's not bad. I think like meal timing in a dieting phase is very, very important. It's important in a gaining phase. I think it's important in both. It keeps your body in a rhythm, kind of eating at similar times, but especially in a dieting phase, right? If you're eating like super, super early, just because you're hungry in the morning. And when I wake up, I am hungry in the morning. But if I eat as soon as I wake up, then I'm going to be starving all day long, and I'm going to be struggling by the time I get to the evening. So I think keeping those meal timings, like obviously around the pre and post workout, is important, but keeping those meal timings the same, just so that you're not absolutely starving in the evening. You're going to be hungry in a diet anyway, but managing it well, I think, is really, really important. So I'm going to enjoy this now, do a little bit more work, 2 more meals, sit down. I'm not sure who's on for Euros tonight. We'll sit down and watch that as well, and chill out and enjoy the last 2 meals. Cereal in the yogurt bowl tonight. Very, very excited about that. The world is testing me today. My camera died halfway through what I was saying then. But what I was saying is you don't have to eat rubbish food, and you can enjoy it. And what I've got here is teriyaki zero, which is like 6 calories per 15 gram portion, which is not bad as long as you're not using the whole bottle. Use it in moderation. But what I do is I just use the ingredients that are given to me in the diet plan and make it taste good. So the chicken, all I do is bang it in the air fryer for 20 minutes. Key is put some 1-cal spray on it and it'll keep it moist. And then after about 18 minutes, take it out, 2 forks, shred it, mix a little bit of that in, bang it back in the air fryer, and you've got shredded chicken and chips on a diet. Also got 300 grams of strawberries. It's meant to be 200 grams of pineapple, but pineapple gives me heartburn, so we don't want to be having that. So I've got less time than I thought now to eat this meal because of that malfunction, but this meal is 45 grams of protein and 100 grams of carbohydrates. So I'm going to get this done, get on my call, and then it will be time to chill out because that has just stressed me out. So chips every day on a diet, it's good. And that is the day done. Work fully done. It is 5 to 8. And this is very much now my chill time. It's my happy place. Chilling out, watching a bit of TV. Cleo over there. In her PJs. And with the ski ball, which this is honestly such a treat because
usually it feels like I'm eating nothing with no cereal in. It's quite literally on a normal day just 350 grams of yogurt, 15 grams of whey, an almond butter, and some raspberries. So it feels like nothing. It feels like I'm eating air. So to have 110 grams of cereal in it is very nice indeed. So that is a full day of eating 750 carbs. I feel like I'm burning through this food. Started the first two meals, I was full. Now I'm just getting more hungry, which is fantastic. But in terms of my energy levels, night and day difference between this morning and this evening, which is nice. Training was okay today, not too bad. Obviously, two meals isn't necessarily going to pull you out of a hole, but the way I'm feeling tonight now should have a good session tomorrow, which is exciting and more than likely be pretty damn full. So I've got to put that video in anyway because I didn't do one today. So I'll tag that on. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that high day of eating. That is how it's done. So a busy week ahead now. I am going out to Portugal on Wednesday. So I'm going to get out there and basically just work and train just in a different environment, a nice bit of sunshine. And I'm taking Harry with me. So you'll have the professional video and not this rookie camera battery cutting out nonsense. So I'll show you how I travel while on prep. I don't think it's going to be much of an issue at all. The routine isn't going to change. Already planned when I'm going to train. It's just going to be nice to have a little bit of a change in terms of being in the sunshine. Um, and then when I come back, I'm 4 weeks out, which is absolutely mental. So I'll continue to take you on the journey, show you the highs and the lows. Definitely feeling better tonight than I did this morning. Don't forget to subscribe. Nearly at 100 now, which for me, just starting out, is insane. Little old me. So subscribe. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.